There is no way this actually happens. As the trade deadline inches closer and closer, shocking new reports have dropped revealing a new Lakers target. And these trade reports have Lakers fans absolutely fired up. We're going to break it down and discuss who this player is and what this means going forward as the Lakers prepare for something big. So stay tuned for all that in this episode, folks. Before we get into it, if you're a part of the percentage who aren't subscribed to the channel, it's the place to be for daily Lakers content. Your guys' support has been unbelievable. Thank you for that. But this report has Lakers fans not only confused, but a little bit livid because, I mean, the talks that are going on surrounding the LA Lakers right now is crazy. And it is Bogdanovic. And we've been talking about Walker Kessler, Clint Capella, all these guys. And then you get a report here. The Bogdanovic market is heating up. Atlanta is likely to make a deal in the coming days with multi-team frameworks being worked on. The Suns, Heat, Spurs, and now the Lakers have interest in Bogdanovic, sources told Clutch Sports. Now, I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous for a few different reasons. One, let me know down below. Are you as mad as a lot of the Lakers fans are about this deal? Because the fact that the Lakers were even rumored in the Bogdanovic sweepstakes, if you want to call it, is crazy enough in itself. But the fact that, and we're going to dive into a ton of different things, the fact that there's buzz swirling around Bogdan to the Lakers, according to Anthony Irwin, is even crazier. And this has picked up over the past few hours. And ladies and gentlemen, Bogdan is not playing in tonight's game. So to make things even crazier, there's a good chance that he's going to get dealt here soon, or hopefully not to the LA Lakers. But it's at a very weird juncture now because we're talking about a player who is pretty solid, especially last year, averaged 17 points a game. We're going to dive into his stats. But like, from the Lakers' perspective, what are we doing here? It's so confusing. He's not good defensively. He could be a decent bench scorer, which I guess if the Lakers are looking for another bench scorer, it could make some sense. But this buzz has, I mean, it has Lakers fans confused. And not only confused, but like, why? That's the real, that's the real question here is why. And again, the Bogdanovic market is heating up. Atlanta is likely to make a deal in the coming days with multiple team frameworks being worked on. And this is what I want to talk about. Lakers fans, do y'all want Bogdan? He makes $17 million. He's a good offensive player, and he's a very bad defensive player. And 76%, including myself, said that they do not want Bogdan. Now, this isn't a video to say, hey, it makes zero sense. Like, I understand it. He's a very good offensive player. He can shoot the three ball well. He can facilitate a little bit. He's a very solid scorer. That's what he does. And for a Lakers team that I think at this point still kind of needs a little bit of scoring off of the bench. They acquired Dorian Finney-Smith. You talk about Shake Milton. You talk about all these different guys that we're hoping, again, Shake Milton was kind of a throw-in the trade, but for the Nets, he was actually doing some decent things, and we saw him as a decent role player with the Sixers there for a while. But now, if you're looking to bring in a guy like Bogdan, I mean, I don't know what kind of assets you would have to give up for him, but even if you do, this is just another poor defender that really doesn't make a lot of sense for this team. And you look at the depth chart. We're going to dive into the De'Aaron Fox stuff in a minute here because it directly correlates. Austin Reaves, Max Christie, Rui, LeBron, AD. I mean, you have Gabe Vincent, Dalton, Knecht, Dorian Finney-Smith. Like, they don't have much backup scoring. Gabe Vincent hasn't been good. Dorian Finney-Smith has been okay. Jackson Hayes, not good. So when you're talking about Gabe Vincent, even Dalton Knecht, he's been hit or miss at times. There's been some rumblings about him going down to the G League, getting a shot back, but I don't think that's going to happen. But regardless, we're talking about, I don't think Dalton Knecht is going to get sent down, but we're talking here about a guy in Bogdanovic who, like, I understand the premise, but why would the Lakers even be considering this? Now, again, take the rumors and reports with a grain of salt. We haven't heard anything from the reputable reporters. We haven't heard anything from them yet. But that being said, it's at the point now where it's like, Shams hasn't come out and said anything about it, but there's a lot of rumblings. And ladies and gentlemen, Bogdan and Clint Capella have been ruled out of tomorrow's game. The day before, people were saying Pelinka's really going to do this. Now, there's been some rumblings about a framework between of Capella and Bogdan coming to the Lakers in exchange for like one first-round pick, which is very intriguing as well. We'll probably have future videos covering that. I'm not exactly sure how much I like that either. I mean, I covered Capella in the video earlier today a little bit. I don't hate the idea of Clint Capella. If you can get him for extremely cheap, he could fit as a very decent option for your backup center role, right? Like, he wouldn't be a terrible option. But if you're getting Bogdanovic, and I guess from Rob Pelinka's perspective here, it's more so if you can get Capella and Bogdan in a package for a first, you're kind of hitting two birds with one stone. You're getting a guy off of the bench who can score the ball well. You're getting a center who can, rebound, play okay defense. He's at the tail end of his career here. But at the same time, we continue to talk about these guys as if they're really good play. Not us, obviously, but people are talking about Bogdan like he can actually do something. He would be an okay bench player. It's as simple as that. He wouldn't slide into the starting lineup. And I just think the Lakers have so many other needs right now, whether that be a backup center, whether that be even just a backup guy who can play defense. That isn't Bogdanovich. And the other teams interested are the Suns, the Heat, the Spurs, and the Lakers. Like some of those teams, if you need bench scoring, Bogdan makes a ton of sense. And obviously, we can talk about this here. Breaking, the Spurs and the Kings are in communication with multiple teams to complete a multi-team deal in regard to De'Aaron Fox, including Atlanta, Brooklyn, and the Lakers. It seems Bogdan, Chris Paul, and Nick Claxton will be involved. More to come. If the Lakers can find a way to get Nick Claxton out of this, I'm all in for it. It makes a ton of sense. But if the Lakers in this 4-team deal get Bogdanovich out of it, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me as to why they would choose that player. Like, you'd be better off almost playing some of the younger guys. And again, we've been talking about, they don't have really anyone young that would be a better scorer than Bogey, but I don't know if he really fixes anything. Like, I feel like at that point, it's just making a move to make a move. Now, that being said, at the same time, we're also talking about a guy who has been okay in the past. And you see this here from Shams. And this is a new report as well. Anthony Davis told me a week ago that he wants a center and a guard. On the priority list, the center is the top for AD and LeBron. They don't want LA to mortgage their future, but how can we be aggressive and active to get a couple pieces? AD said we are 1 or 2 pieces from a championship. I think LA will be active. Pelinka is trying to see what he can get. Now, we'll cover this again in a future video. A guard, Bogey. Again, the scary part with this is it says he wants a center and a guard according to Shams, right? And a center and a guard would be Clint Capella and Bogdanovich. They're clearly going to be involved in these deals, right? And if the Lakers, and let me know down below, if the Lakers end up with Clint and Bogey, would you be happy with that package? That's the big question. I mean, maybe. I don't know if they can. If Kessler and Miles Turner are off the table, and sure, it makes a little bit of sense. But other than that, I'm not entirely sold on either of these guys. Bogey, a bad defender, like I mentioned. Clint Capella, he's on the tail end of his career here. And I'm just not entirely sure that at this point, all this buzz, and it makes sense. Reportedly, De'Aaron Fox going to be headed to the San Antonio Spurs, according to some rumors. You pair that with, the Lakers getting involved in the deal. We were hoping it would be for someone else, and maybe it's going to be Nick Claxton. We'll keep you up to date. But at the end of the day, I don't love the deal. It's very confusing, and this was more of a rant video because I don't think it makes any sense for the LA Lakers, and most of the Lakers fan base agrees because at this point, I don't want it. And it's not very often I'm on this firm on a player. I just don't want him. I think there's other options out there. Now, if it's either Bogey or no one, sure, add some bench scoring. But the offense still is not where it needs to be, and the defense certainly isn't either. So let me know down below what your thoughts are on this. Thank you guys for watching. Cheers.